Let's make a planner, a weekly planner with a 2-page layout. So this is using the base planner template with the line shadow, no rings. And what I've created here is a cover page, inner pages, my welcome page layout, and then I've got two different layouts for the weekly. I've got weekly 1 and weekly 2. So we're going to use weekly 2 for this layout because I've already done one with the other layout. So I have already set up my cover page, welcome, and then I have the mini calendars for 2023, 2024, and then I've inserted all of the monthly layouts. And we're down here to December of 2024. So now we're going to use PDF-Linkr because we're going to create those weekly pages. So let's add a new slide, and we're going to select weekly 2, and then I need to put the date in there, so we're going to add the text box, and I want to put that over here. We'll test it. Change our script. I should be able to scroll to that a little easier, but I'm not real great at that, so let's see if that's good for our placement on our text. So I'm going to duplicate keynote slide, and now you can click this box to include the weekday, the week name, or the day name, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if you want to. That was a request. So we're going to go to Planner 11 Weekly, and I want Planner. Oh, I'm a little lost. Let's find. There it is. Okay, so I want this file. All right. So we're going to duplicate. Remember, this is our placeholder. We're going to duplicate slide number 29. And the start date is going to be January 1st. And the number of slides is 5. So we'll create the weekly slides. Yes, it is the first duplication because that's going to get rid of that placeholder. So I'm just going to call this January 23. Okay, let's take a look and see if we like the placement of the date. Oh yeah, look at that. We did it great on the first try. So, okay, so now let's delete that placeholder. Sorry, my pup's barking. Let me pause and stop him barking. Okay, so let's delete that placeholder slide. Okay, and now we're going to duplicate all of the rest for all the rest of the months. So let's grab our, and then we can say February, and we're going to create those. No, it's not the first duplication. And then we just do the same for all of our months. So I will pause the video while we do that. Okay, so I'm at my last slide duplication at December of 24. No, it's not the first duplication. And December 24. Okay, so now I have all of my slides. Okay, all of my slides. It turns out to be 148 pages. I'm going to go ahead and add my back cover, and there we are. So I have my cover page, my welcome page, my yearly overview calendars, all of my calendar pages for 2023 and 2024, and then my weekly pages from January 2023 to December of 2024. So now what I want to do is I want to think about how this is going to be linked. So what I want to do, is use PDF-Linkr, because I know that page 2 and 3, I want to create a couple of CSV documents here. I want welcome page. It's going to go to 2, so I'm going to save that as page 1. And then I want to create one that is for the 23 and 24 links. So 23, that is going to go to page 3, and 24 is going to go to page 4. And then I need to create the monthly tabs, January, February, January through December, for the tabs down the side. And those are just going to go to the calendar overview pages. So January is going to start on 5 for 23, so I'm going to pause the video and make the rest of them. Okay, so I created all of my links for my tabs. So now we're just going to export this as PDF. And I want to save it in Planner 2, and I'm just going to create another file. Great. Now, let's start with by just adding the welcome page link. And that's just going to be on page 1. Okay. So now I have that takes it to my welcome page. So I'm going to skip, well, we can go ahead and make that. I will grab my links for my page 2 for my welcome page and just create that with, grab those links and add that. So let's create that CSV. This Facebook group. Grab my Facebook group link. And paste it over here. And then obviously PDF-Linkr. Okay, and then I'll just save that. Make sure there's not a space. I had a space there. Save that as welcome page. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add that to to the welcome page. Let's remove that, and we're going to add the new one, the updated one. And it's page 2. So, welcome page. Oh, I forgot. It's web links. My bad. I do that all the time. There we go. Okay. So now we have those done. We can start on our calendar links. So that takes me to my welcome page. Takes me to my Facebook group. Yes. And then takes me to PDF-Linkr. Yes. Okay, great. So let's rename that as 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add all of the 2023-2024. So let's do that. So we're going to do all pages. I'm going to load the PDF in the viewer. Just select my area because I want it to be added to that area on all pages. So I'm going to select my page link, and that is the 23-24 CSV. I'm going to process page links, and it was all added. Added it to all 148 pages. So that's great. So now let's take a look at that. Page 2023, 2024. Yep. Okay. So then we would want to add our links to all of our pages here. And I'm going to do that in a batch process because it's going to be separate pages for the years. So what I want to do is we'll do a batch processing. And we're going to view this PDF because I want to add the links to this area. So this is for 23. So this is page 3. So we're going to say page 3. We're going to use the tabs, monthly tabs 23, and then page 4 is the 24 monthly tabs. So then let's open that up because I have to look at the pages, page numbers. So that's page 3 and that's page 4, and then page 5 through 16, I believe, is where we want to do the January. Yes, page 5 through 16 will be 23. Will be January, monthly tabs 23, and then 17 to 28, I believe. Let's look. Yes, to 28 is then the monthly tabs 24. Okay, we've already selected the area, so we're going to process the batch. And let's take a look at what we got. So, welcome page 23, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, October, November, December. Perfect. 24. 24. Wonderful. Great. All added. Wonderful. Okay. So now let's get rid of some of these so we don't get confused. Okay, so now we're working with 4. We're going to clear that because we're going to do our batch processing now for our weeks. So our weekly links. So let's add our batch. Add our PDF, and then we want to view it because now we're going to be selecting these areas here. That selected area. So our January 2023 weeks start on page 29. So that's going to be 29 to 33, and we're going to, and that would be January 23. We're going to do that for each set of those pages. So February would be 34 to 38, and that would be February 23. So I will pause while I get all of those loaded up. Okay, so I've got all of my page ranges loaded up here with my CSVs. So let's process that. And we'll take a look. Let's go to 23. So January. Oh, I forgot to add them here. I have to add those to each of those pages too. Forgot about that. Let's go back and do that. So that's going to be, let's just call this 5. So I know where we're at. Okay, so let's go back, because those added all of those links, but I also need to add those links to the those monthly pages, those monthly overview pages. So let's do that. So we're going to, let's take a look at that. Right here is where we want those to be added. So we want to use this specific area. Okay, and that January page, I believe, starts on page 5, if I remember correctly. Yes, January starts on page 5, so we're going to say January for page 5, and then 6 is going to be February, and so on and so forth. May. I'll pause this. Okay, so have all of those loaded up, and we're going to batch process those now. Let's take a look. Now we should have welcome page 23. Good. Go to January, and that should take us to our first week of January. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing for our 24, our year 24. So let's save this as the most updated, and we'll delete all of these. And then we will, so let's add, so 17 is where we want to start with those calendar links on those major main calendar pages. So that would be 17, and then 18 would be January, February, 19. So you would just do this for all of your pages, obviously. I believe that stops on 8/28. So this would be January 24, February 24, March 24, July, August, September, October, November, December. And December. Okay. Select my area and process. Perfect. Now let's take a look at our updated. We'll go to welcome page, go to 2024. Let's go to January of 2024. That should take us to, yep, okay. So now we just have to add the last weekly links. So let's say, let's delete this, and let's just call this one delete all these, and then we're going to do our weekly pages. So now, if you want to remember, that starts on, where are we at? Let's see. Let's open our CSV and see what January 2024 starts on. That starts on page 89. So we will say 89 to 93 for January 24. And then I'm going to load all the rest of the pages in. Okay, I have all of my monthly pay or weekly page numbers chosen there. So I think we already chose the area, but we'll just go ahead and do it again. Going to be this area. Okay, and then we're going to process the batch. Okay, so now let's go to where the most updated one is, and let's go to 24, and we'll try January 1. Yep, 1. And now all of our links are successfully added. Okay, so let's now add our Google Calendar links. Okay, so let's delete all of these, and now let's create our Google Calendar links. That starts, the weekly pages start on page 29, I believe, and go to 148. Yes. 29 to 148. Okay. So let's generate our Google Calendar links. So we are going to say from January 1st to December 31st. And you still have to put a time slot in here even though it's not creating that. It doesn't matter what the pattern is because it's going to create the weekly link for us. So we're going to create those weekly links, and we are going to save that in our Google. Okay, so now if I go to Google, all of these calendar links are created. I'll show you. It just has the 1 week, and it says Google Calendar. That's the pattern. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to batch process. I'm going to add our planner. And the start page is 29 to 148. I'm going to batch select my Google Calendar links. Select them all. Okay. And then I want to load it in the viewer. Let's go to page 29 because I want it to be added just here. And let's process. Let's take a look. Now we should have why didn't it add that link? Oh, I think it did. No, maybe it didn't. Something happened there. Let's see. I didn't get that. I didn't add the link. Let's try again. Got those files. Let's view the PDF again. Let's make sure we're correcting the correct area. Maybe just go a little bigger. And process. Let's try. There we go. And that's going to open a weekly view of your planner. So if you, let's go back to our preview. Let's go to week 4 and open our calendar, and it will open it to week 4. So just a little bit different. So I hope that helped, and I hope you're liking PDF-Linkr, and show me what you're creating in the group. I'd love to see it.